for Elizabeth Warren. She was hoping to get a second 6-year term, and it was a fairly resounding victory.
To the women who are leading in Massachusetts. Yes! Oh. When I first ran for the Senate 6 years ago, I asked you to take a chance on someone who had never even run for office before. You took that chance. You sent me into the fight, and tonight you told me to stay in the fight. I am deeply grateful, and I promise I will never stop working my heart out for you. Never. Yeah. It has been a tough 2 years. But together, we have marched, together we have run, together we have persisted and insisted that our voices be heard, that our votes be counted, and that our values be respected. And in 2 months, and at least for the next 2 years, the House of Representatives, the People's House, is going to do a lot more work for the people. So tonight, I make you this promise. We are just getting started. You know, we know what we believe in, and we know whose side we're on. We came to this movement to pick a fight on behalf of millions of Americans who are getting ripped off in a rigged economy and ignored by a corrupt government in Washington. We came to this fight for families trying to stretch a paycheck and for people living one moment away from a medical bill that would send them spiraling over a financial cliff. We came to fight for seniors trying to make it on Social Security and for dreamers trying to make it in the only country they've ever known. We came to fight for workers who want to build a union and for unions who want to rebuild America's middle class. We came to fight for firefighters facing cancer, for nurses busting their tails to save lives, and for public school teachers reaching into their own pockets to buy crayons for their kids. We came to fight for loved ones caught in the grip of the opioid crisis, for families shattered by gun violence, and for communities of color devastated by a broken criminal justice system. And we came to fight for decency. We came to fight for justice. We came to fight for change. And now, tonight, we take that fight to Washington to make our government work, not just for the rich and the powerful, but make it work for everyone else. So tonight is a night to celebrate how far our movement has come. But it is also a night to remember just how it began. And let's make sure that nobody rewrites history. This resistance began with women, and it is being led by women tonight. Ago, on a very dark election night, millions of women watched in horror as Donald Trump was elected president. They didn't like it, but they didn't whimper, they didn't whine, they fought back. Women knitted hats and they painted signs and they took to the streets by the millions, raising their voices until they could no longer be ignored. They went to rallies, they went to town halls, they went to training sessions. They became organizers, fundraisers, campaign managers. By the dozens, by the hundreds, women who had never run for anything before stepped up to put their names on the ballot. A record-breaking number of women. A record-breaking number of women, especially women of color, including our own Ayanna Pressley, jumped into the fight. And it was something. They ignored the party bosses who said they should wait their turn. They ignored the consultants who said they should cover up their tattoos and smile more. And they ignored the powerful men of the Republican Party who never took them seriously anyway. They refused to let anyone shut them up or stand in their way. And that is how real change begins. And it's there. We've seen white women learn from black women how to organize and mobilize. Older women partnering with younger women to take to the streets. Married, single, straight, lesbian, and trans women, rich and poor women building alliances with each other. And yeah, building alliances with the men who also want to make real change in this country. People who never thought of themselves as activists embraced their power, took their seats at the table, and inspired others. Glass shattered, barriers broke. More people who had always been told to wait and wait and wait decided the time for waiting was over and the time to act had come. So earlier this year, I called one of those first-time candidates, a woman named Liuba Gretchen Shirley. Yep, good for you. Now, Liuba was running a tough race for Congress, and the pundits were giving her no chance of winning, none at all. But that's not what Liuba was worried about on the day I called. Nope. She was worried about her 2-year-old son, Nicholas, who had tripped on a toy and broken his leg. Now, she could have given up, but she didn't. Instead, she practiced her stump speech while she gave Nicky and his sister their baths, and she balanced fundraising calls with calls to the insurance company, which, by the way, refused to cover Nicky's hospital stay. You know, but I'll tell you, it reminded me of how I felt when I was a young teacher back at the University of Houston. I was having a tough time managing 2 little kids and a brand new job. And one night, my 77-year-old Aunt Bee called long distance from Oklahoma just to see how I was doing. Fine, I said, and then out of nowhere, I just burst into tears. It was too much. I felt like a failure. And without even planning to say it, the words just fell out of my mouth. I'm going to quit my job. Now, Aunt Bee waited for me to stop crying, to blow my nose, to get a drink of water, all long distance. And she said, I can't get there tomorrow, but I can come on Thursday. She showed up with 7 suitcases and a Pekingese named Buddy and stayed for 16 years. Thank you, Aunt Bee. So I'm talking to Liuba, and Liuba said she had heard that story, and then she started to cry. It's hard. It's hard for millions of working moms who don't have an Aunt Bee. Moms fighting to make ends meet, fighting to create a better future, fighting a system that's rigged to undermine working women, to lock women of color out of opportunity, and to keep power in the hands of privileged men. But for Liuba and the other women who ran this year, they wouldn't let anything stop them. That's how it is. And here's the deal. No matter what happens in Liuba's race tonight, she's one of this year's big winners, because she became the first woman ever to get federal officials to approve using campaign funds to pay for child care. Now that's real change. Go, Liuba. Together, women and men, young and old, black and white, gay and straight, in cities big and small, have built something extraordinary. And whether you ran for office or ran a phone bank, whether you won or you lost or you're still waiting for the votes to be counted, whether this was your first time getting off the sidelines or you've been in this fight your whole life, everyone who helped make tonight possible should know 2 things. First, you have more power than you ever imagined. And second, you gotta stay in the fight. The road ahead of us will not be easy. Trust me, the powerful in Washington don't give up just because they get knocked down. Our government is still captured by the wealthy and the well-connected, and the economy is still rigged against working people, women, and communities of color. Our Supreme Court is still packed with right-wing activists who believe that the wealthy and the well-connected should get to call the shots. And Donald Trump still practices the dark art of ruling by fear. Fear whipped up to turn hardworking Americans against hardworking Americans. And while he's got everyone busy yelling and fighting, Mitch McConnell gets to raid the Treasury and give $1.5 trillion to his rich friends. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Mitch is still plotting to destroy health care for millions of families and slash Social Security and Medicare. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. Nevertheless, we will persist, and we will deliver the change this country deserves. All the way. So we've got a lot of races still undecided tonight, but before I let you get back to your television sets, and checking it online, which I noticed somebody over there is doing. Okay. I just want to say some thanks. First, running for office is an investment in democracy. It isn't easy, and anyone who steps up deserves credit. So I want to say thank you to my opponent for stepping up. Thank you, Jeff Deal. Thank you. And for everyone else who made an investment in democracy, thank you. Thank you for putting up a lawn sign or coming to a rally or donating $10 or just making the time to vote. You make democracy work. And thank you to my sweetie Bruce, who understands the most important things in life, and in the middle of a hard campaign, came home with a new puppy. Thank you. And thank you to the people of this Commonwealth. Every single one of you, whether you voted for me or not, I am grateful for the opportunity to fight for you. So thank you all, but remember, your work isn't done. So much depends on what we do next. Donald Trump and his corrupt friends have spent the last 2 years building walls of anger and division and resentment. Tonight, as the first cracks begin to appear in that wall, let us declare that our fight is not over until we have transformed our government into one that works not just for the rich and the powerful, but works for everyone. And tomorrow, we get right back in the fight. The fight for a day when corporations don't write all the rules. The fight for a day when corrupt politicians don't escape justice. The fight for a new day in America with a new kind of politics, a politics of inclusion, not resentment. Yes, a politics of courage, not fear. We have come so far together. We have fought together, cried together, resisted together, and sure as hell persisted together. But tonight, we send a message to the world. We're just getting started.
You've been listening to Senator Warren and her